early.
What's good, folks? We are back with another episode of Early.
Once again, man.
Yeah, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you have not already. But we got two special guests in the building today.
Sure, man.
We got Rob and Gio. Yeah, homies of the show for sure. What's going on, fellas? How are y'all?
How y'all doing today?
Appreciate y'all coming through, man.
Yeah,
for sure. Real quick, just kind of let people know who you are, what you do, and then we're gonna jump right into the conversation. We know y'all very well, but let our audience know.
I'm Gio, and I'm co-owner of Drifters MD.
Street Market.
Oh yeah, we also run Street Market too with in partnership with Home Court.
Shout out to Rich and G. We love you guys.
Nice.
I'm Rob. I do a lot of things. But yeah, co-owner of Drifters. We co-run Street Market with Home Court. I'm a footwear and garment designer, graphics, all of that. Do a little bit of marketing work, some other things on the side. So yeah.
Yeah, we got they're kind of downplaying themselves, but we got two fashion moguls, low key. You know what I'm saying?
No, I appreciate
but now Drifters, the reseller, what would you call it, like a consignment kind of store or something like that?
Like
what would you call it?
Trade,
okay.
Streetwear.
There you go. Yeah, but I mean, anybody that is from around here that knows y'all, like y'all got some of the flyest shit on there. But not facts. But kind of catch us up. Because I know me and you talked like years ago on my original podcast. Yeah,
that was like when Drifters started.
Yeah, I remember. So kind of catch us up to like the progress that y'all have made since then. Like I know we kind of talked earlier about like what it looked like pre-COVID to like now.
Post-COVID.
Kind of talk about that a little bit.
Well, I guess Gio's been a big thrifter since I met him. And he used to just always be in the thrift. He was more so just buying stuff he liked. And I would, funny enough, I would trade. I liked vintage, but I think I was like into the skate brands and stuff. So I had a lot of Supreme stuff, Bape, shit like that. And Gio would thrift things, and I'd be like, yo, that polo's crazy. Yeah. I'd be like, yo, I'll give you a Supreme shirt for a few polo pieces. And he'd be like, fuck it, I'm down. And then like, yeah, we were cool just off clothing and like shoes and shit. And then I interned at this shop in Waldorf, which is crazy. I was driving an hour and a half a day, back and forth,
dedication,
both ways. I was in the worst part. I was interning for free. I wasn't getting paid.
Yeah,
maybe got some free shoes here and there.
Was looking back on it though, was it a valuable experience?
Fuck
like you wouldn't trade that?
Yeah, I worked there for a year for free, and I like would not have changed a thing. I learned about the business. I learned what not to do. Yeah. I learned, a lot about who you go into business with and how to deal with someone you're in business with. I think that's an ever evolving thing. But yeah, Gio would sell shit to us, and eventually me and Gio would talk. Like he would pull up and we'd talk and be like, yo, like one day this could be us. Like we should have our own space. We should start our own thing. And then
things you talk about with the homies when you just in the basement smoking some weed.
Facts.
We've all had those conversations.
Absolutely.
Basically.
I mean, so like, let's just say, so you guys, start, I guess, collecting or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys have like reserved space for this thing? Do you just start on the fly? Do you have a whole layout? Like you have a blueprint set out for yourself, or you kind of just go freestyling into this?
Not at all. I think we jumped in that shit. I think like we jumped in, and I think it was our boy that was like, yo, like we even talked about percentage split. And I remember that one of the conversations was like, yo, 33% three ways. And then one of us was like, wait, so what percentage goes back to the business?
Yo, facts.
Facts. I was like, what percentage goes back to the business?
No, facts.
And then like we had to restructure the whole thing, and buying inventory was different. Like Gio was thrifting, we were throwing shit in.
No, I remember
personal shit.
I remember when we talked about starting it, it was like the beginning of summer. We were like, all right, we want to do this. So I thrifted the whole summer. It's fucked up to say it.
What year is this? What summer?
2017 or 2018. It was one of those two.
It's fucked up to say it though, but like I remember I thrifted that whole summer, and I filled up like those steel shelves that you get from Home Depot, the big joints.
Mm-hmm.
I filled 2 of those with all finessed items.
Oh, word.
And this was back when we was like, you know, we didn't have money to invest in it yet.
Yeah,
so we had to get it how we could get it.
Right.
Yeah, after the whole summer, I remember.
Felonious.
I remember we had 2 whole shelves filled up of inventory, and after that, we just went off with it.
Yeah.
And we had no plan. We had like,
to the mic, Rob.
oh,
Yeah.
we had no plan. We had like, where should we take these pictures? Wood floors, cool.
Right.
You know, we had like, how much should we pay for items?
Right.
And I think like this second year, we started buying from people. Like, because it started with like thrifting.
I remember. So yeah, it started with thrifting, and then we're getting to a point where we're running out of our inventory. Like what we're bringing,
Because like things are selling so quickly.
selling, yeah.
But we can't recoup fast enough.
Yeah, especially like the stuff we were getting at that time. It was like stuff like this. People wanted high end vintage stuff like this, and mids weren't really popping off just yet like that.
Right.
So what we would bring from the thrift store wasn't enough to replenish in a timely
timely fashion.
And I remember somebody that I used to see at the thrift store all the time. He hit me up. He was like, "Yo, are you still thrifting?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, I'm getting out of the game. I just don't have the time for it." Yeah. And he was like, "I have like a bunch of stuff just in my basement space."
It was like 6 bins of shit, and I remember like the price was like crazy. It was like cheap, but like also I remember we were doing buyouts, and it was like, yo, we just spent $400. We have no more money.
Yeah,
and like.
That first buy was scary.
It was scary.
But it was
that was the first big risk.
Right.
And he was like, I'm not gonna like tax you. I just want what I paid for this stuff, and I want it out of my basement.
We got a great deal.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, no, like it was the first financial risky move we made, which was crazy because like it's only $400. It was like 400, right?
Or 600, something like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're still on some. Yo, when are we going to even?
Yeah,
flip this shit?
are we going to make any money?
So did you go straight to Insta? You think Instagram? Like
Instagram was where we started. We started on IG. I've been on IG. Funny enough, I've been on IG since IG got made. Like I was on Facebook in 2007.
Yeah.
So like,
I remember them early. I remember that. Early social media,
Instagram
man.
Was fucking awesome.
Early Instagram, early Facebook, bro. Like that shit was
meal of the day.
Time.
OOTD.
Oh no, outfit of the day.
Woman Crush Wednesday.
Woman Crush Wednesday.
Throwback Thursday. Flashback Friday.
God. That was a time, bro.
DMV followers was doing
DMV followers.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, I remember the
follow for follow.
Y'all,
Friday.
Y'all remember the DMV bait pages?
Oh my God.
Oh shit, yeah, I do.
Took it back.
I'm weak. That was a fucking time, bro. It's funny to see. Maybe we'll talk about this later in the convo, but like the evolution of where social is now. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'll get there at another time. But so y'all started with selling on IG, right? Like that was basically your whole marketing plan.
Pretty much. Yeah.
But like, so it starts picking up, right? Because what I'm really interested in is to see the transition into how today it's a community, right? So talk about, I guess, once y'all get into a flow or when the business is consistent, when do you guys even start having these other ideas of, could this be something more?
Successful.
Could this be something that's more collaborative? Could this be something that we're bringing people into the fold? Because now it's like you've kind of provided a platform for a lot of people to also get their shits off. Like, oh, we got the DJs coming through, you got sponsors coming through, you got people with all this. Like, so when did it come across in your mind? You're like, yo, we could do something with this brand.
That's all him. I remember one time he was like,
flowers.
We were just selling to sell, and we weren't even paying ourselves. We just had money for the business. And then I remember one time he was like, we need to track how much money we're making in a year. This is all stuff that I never even thought about it. He was like, I'm gonna develop a spreadsheet for our expenses, what we spend on gas, food, inventory, and then at the end of the year, I'll total it all up. I'll do all the numbers and see how much we make in a year. And if it's worth it, we do something with it.
Yeah.
And
we weren't paying taxes yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it was simply just like tracking. And also like shout out to Dizzy, because that was one of the first people that had the conversation with me where he was like, yo, like he was like Dizzy, he was like, yo, you track, he was like, do you track your finances? And I was like, nah. I was like, we just kind of winging it. And he was like, well, how do you know if your business is growing? And I was like, I mean, we just know based off of how things are doing. If we're able to buy stuff again, it means our business is doing good. And he was like, okay, well, how do you know your margins? And I was like, true. Yeah. And then that kind of pushed us to like, I developed like a whole, I actually still use the same spreadsheet system that I did back then. It's a whole 24 spread, 25 spreads. So it's,
is this around the time that you even started like making that content for Vendu?
No, Vendu was,
because I remember,
shout out to Vendu.
Yeah,
Vendu wasn't until I think Vendu was last year.
Okay.
I think the first year that we started tracking finances was 2019 or 2020. It was 2019. It was like
2 years into it.
Yeah, because it was 2019, I think. And we were just kind of like playing it by ear, and that finance, like that spreadsheet system has grown so much where now, like, bro, you could literally ask me like, yo, what did you sell on July 19th, 2020, and I could tell you who it sold to, where we sent it to, I could tell you the fucking address, and not like in a weird way, but just like in a
tracking
like,
everything.
It's locked in.
It's so much more easier.
Yeah,
I remember when we would sell stuff, we wouldn't even keep a track of like who bought it. It was just like, oh, I'll just go to the DMs and search
happened. No, facts.
One time I remember we forgot who it sold to. And then he was like, that's another thing we're going to add to spreadsheets. We're going to add who bought what on what day, this and this.
It was really trial and error. Like, I really think like everything that we applied was literally through like doing it wrong and then getting it wrong, or like fucking it up and then being like, actually, we should implement that as well, because it
happens. I mean, this is two guys who had a love for clothes and sneakers. We don't know how to do this stuff professionally.
This is me, not crack.
I'm weak.
I'm not gonna lie. Now that I'm 30, like smoking out of a bowl, like obviously, like I like
a pipe.
No, it's a bowl.
A pipe.
So every time I hit a bowl, I'm like, man, I feel like
call it what it is.
That's crazy. That's crazy. You had to do the disclaimer. But what is it, like younger folks or older folks that be not knowing?
You know what it is? I think it's me.
I
think it's me.
It's a self-conscious thing.
I think it's a self-conscious thing. And I think because like I'll be around in different areas, different places, and I don't know. Maybe it's older folks too. Like I think like one time I was smoking the bowl in front of my dad, and he was like, "Is that for weed?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I was like,
"Just gotta make sure."
Just making sure. Haven't seen you in a couple of weeks. Just trying to make sure nothing's going on. Nah, facts. The bowls are the most efficient way. To me. Plus, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've been smoking tobacco since I was 14.
Mm-hmm.
I actually smoked my first cigarette at 5.
Not
the full cigarette, but like I
my boy hopped off that.
Oh my god! No wonder your dad asking if that's asking what that is.
Yo, that's a whole different story too. My sister and I were janky children.
I'm weak.
I'm trying.
He was always on the.
Nigga said I smoked my first cigarette at 5 years old.
Crazy.
We gotta see if somebody out there could beat that. That's probably the youngest I've ever heard.
Shit, bro, don't call him out, people.
You gonna have somebody comment and be like, "What you mean?"
I was smoking in the womb. Or my mom was smoking when she had me.
A swig of his beer at 6.
I feel like that's a little different. That's a little different. I feel like I definitely got a swig of something like wine or something.
Him drinking it, and I was like, "Dad, I want some Sprite too."
Sprite.
So this isn't Sprite. I was like, "You lying? That's Sprite." All right,
taste it.
That's not that shit back out.
Yeah, that shit was gross.
Like on some shit, on some gotcha.
Yeah, facts. What's funny?
Uncles are all cracking.
This is that shit that like young kids be doing though. Like young kids see adults doing shit and they're like, I want to do that. And then when you actually do this shit, you realize like
that shit's nasty.
Like, why y'all even doing this?
It's nasty as fuck. And then it's
acquired. That's what I'm saying. But it is an acquired taste. Like I remember the first couple times that I drank beer, like in high school, like I was like, I had to like power through it, and then like now I love it. You know what I'm saying? Like now I'm like a beer connoisseur. You know what I'm saying? Literally, you know what I'm saying? But it is, and it's funny because like even in adult days, like there's adults that I know that don't like beer because they don't like the taste of it. You know what I'm saying?
With coffee, bro. Like
coffee,
I was
late. I
really
hated coffee at first.
Really like, yo, sure.
When did you start drinking coffee?
Bruh, I really started drinking
What's
coffee
late?
on like a somewhat of a consistent basis, probably like 2.5 years ago.
You know what's crazy?
Okay.
I've drank
Like,
7
and
cups
I'm
of coffee my entire
Since
life.
he was 7 years old.
No. I don't drink coffee.
Oh, yo.
I haven't drank coffee. I've drank less than 10 cups of coffee in my entire life.
I thought you were saying like a day.
No,
you know,
no,
like,
no,
okay.
Yeah,
No, but you know what's funny? You know what's funny? I was same boat as Brooke. I did not fuck
never
with
drank that
coffee.
shit.
I was working at a gym, like fresh out of college. Like up till college, I didn't drink coffee at all. Probably same vibe as you. Actually, I probably had coffee like 3 times in my whole life.
Coffee
And
makes me shit, though.
not even a whole
drinking
cup.
this.
Like probably just like sip somebody's coffee to see what the hype was about. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When I started working at this gym where I had to be there at like 4 a.m.
Oh, fuck
And I was like, and everybody kept saying, "Oh, like drink coffee, it'll help you stay up." And I'm like, so I just started drinking coffee, and I can't even say it actually helped me stay up. It just I liked the like warm thing. I liked the warm drink in the morning. You know what I'm saying? So like now, it's
I'll
still what it is. And yeah, I got to a point where I started replacing coffee with tea.
Like
Oh,
a beer.
no. Like,
That's
Like
some
iced
Mexican
tea?
ass
Like
shit.
iced tea? Like a smoothie.
This I need
Okay.
a cold one in the morning.
I need a cold. You need something cold in the morning? Is that what you're saying?
coffee just doesn't do it for me. For me, it's a smoothie. A smoothie get me good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nah, that's
for
facts.
sure.
That's facts.
But all right, so tell me, let's going back to, when you have the idea to start making it more than what it was. Talk about like when y'all start having this idea.
So funny enough, Street Market didn't come along till 2 years ago, 2022.
Yeah.
2020. This is actually crazy because COVID, so 2020, we were going to do our first event. It was our first solo pop-up flagship thing with Ward 9. Shout out Ward 9. And I think it was Doyle that got us. Shout out Doyle. And we had come in, we'd met with them, we were shooting a whole commercial. I still got the photos from the commercial,
Enemies forever.
And Gio and I are dressed up as untrustworthy car salesman. Like Gio's got like the big cowboy hat on, the cowboy boots, and then I've got like the red leather blazer on, and like we both just look like so untrustworthy. And the whole point of the commercial was like, hey, come out to Drifters, like
right.
And shot the whole commercial. It was getting edited and everything, and the event was, I believe, March 20th, 2020.
Oh yeah, that's right when things started to shut
That was
down.
the event was the I think
that week of.
it wasn't the day. I thought it was the week. I thought it was the day that the government was like, "Yo,
Yeah,
Bro,
it was like the 20th, 21st, something like that.
That might have been the same day Mac was throwing.
It was the weekend before. Yeah, it was that weekend before. Like literally. So like we was doing an event in New York, for another podcast, and like it's so funny because bro, I found my phone from back then, and I'm just like going through looking at old text messages, and I'm seeing like I had messaged like you and a bunch of other people like, yo, like they're saying they're gonna shut New York down, but we're still going. If you don't want to go, like I completely understand. You know what I'm saying? I think Brooke said like, I'm not even worried about that, bro. Like he said something. He said something like, nigga, like shut up, I'm coming. You know what I'm saying? No, but I say all that to say that we went there, we did it. Literally the Sunday that we're driving back, they're like closing New York. You know what I'm saying? Like they're talking, like people are talking about like they're not letting people leave the city. Like that's literally what they were talking about. You know what I'm saying? So we have just made it out, and then like that Monday, like quarantine. You know what I'm saying? Like mandatory quarantine.
I remember the week of they had put the announcement like any gatherings over 10
over something stupid.
No, I think it was literally dropped the day of or the day like before. I remember it was like that close.
I think it was like 2 days.
No, because I remember we were like, "Yo, we're still doing the event."
Yeah,
like we're still doing it, and we didn't do it because everything got shut down.
Right.
So that was our first time ever doing an event, and then I think we took like 2 months off because like everyone stopped working. Like all the stores were like, "Oh, due to COVID, we're not."
People started closing things down. Like
and then
events were getting canceled. People were like being told not to come into work. Like it's thinking back on that time, it's actually crazy what everybody
went through,
had to go through, and like what we decided to do.
You remember the essential worker paper that you had to have in your car?
Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like for being on the road, you could potentially get pulled over just for being on the road. Like it's kind of crazy.
I was out here raw dogging, still driving out. There was this girl that I liked, and she, she's like, "Oh, I'm scared to drive. Like we're supposed to hang out." And I'd be like, yo, fuck that shit. I don't care. Like,
yeah, facts.
be good.
It's so funny, bro.
That was,
Like,
yo, that was a little.
I feel like that was also a time. That was a time during like, I was definitely on the road. It's funny because like the roads were clear. You know what I'm saying? Like roads were clear, bro.
Clear.
Like, I could get to the office in 2 minutes, bro. Like, but I remember that reminds me of a time. Like I guess a social media era, you know what I'm saying, where motherfuckers was doing like the challenges, right? So like I don't know if y'all remember, they had this like 4-bar challenge, or like it was like a COVID. You remember this? It was like a 16-bar challenge. It was like some kind of like freestyle challenge that motherfucker was doing. But people were doing that, and then like the ALS bucket challenge. You know what I'm saying? Like where you like tell people
crates.
Yeah, crates.
You know someone died from that shit?
Yo, I'm
Probably. You know what I'm saying?
They like broke their spine or something.
Planking, like all kinds of stupid shit, bro.
Nah, the one I remember for the crate was the dude who gets all the way to the top, and the hating ass dude kicks.
I remember that. Yo, that was really nuts, bro.
I'm not gonna lie,
like,
we're not friends anymore. Fuck you, bro. Like
we fighting after that.
Nah, facts.
You are my rival.
we Peter Griffin in the fucking chicken. Like every time I see you,
you gotta fight to the death too. Like,
yeah. What the hell? That's wild.
That was a time, bro.
But that
so
also
like, how did COVID affect your business from there?
Yeah, because you're right before we had even came on live. Y'all was definitely talking about how, ironically, and I could definitely resonate. In this moment was like a lot of, I don't know, just being able to capitalize.
Yeah.
It's fucked up to say, but like once people start getting them PPP loans and stuff like that,
They had to spend it somehow. They had to spend it somehow.
People are just home with nothing to do, and they just on their phone.
Online shopping is a hell of a drug, bro. Online shopping is a hell of a drug, bro. Like,
honestly, everyone who was selling at that time, they profited so much.
Well, so yes, but like other people closed down and stayed closed, and like they faded away.
They did,
and
I forgot.
I think like June, we stopped in March. We took like a month and a half off,
right?
Maybe 2, and I think like May or June, I think me and Gio were like, yo, fuck it, bro. Like, let's just start posting again. And then I think we were even like, yo, with everything going on, like, we'll sanitize packages before we send them out. Because you remember, like, back then, like, you couldn't even ship shit. Like, people were like, yo, like, if it's not sanitized,
don't open the mail.
Don't open the mail.
COVID is being spread through the mail.
Leave it in your mail for 15 days.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, sanitize it as soon as you bring it in the house. Like, all that shit.
I think someone hit us up and was like, are you sanitizing the packages before you send them out? Like, type shit. And
I mean, like, just don't order. Like, just don't order. But get out of here. In it, like everybody was just trying to be. Nobody knew. You know what I'm saying?
But the crazy thing is, like, we started posting stuff, business as usual. Things got back, you know, the loans and the stimulus checks and the unemployment, Casamigos and vintage. That's what everyone wanted, like, you know, and like, yeah, people were buying, and then I think once we knew people were buying, it was then about like, okay, Gio, we need to start forecasting what's going to be cool next, and trying to get ahead of those. Another thing that really helped was we had never done events before. We were going to do the pop-up. That was the only time we'd ever really had an event, and we had it was Fab.
Yeah.
So this event called Euphoria hits us up, and they're like, hey, we're doing our first event at this like church, and I think it was like Annandale or something, and we were like, yeah, we might be down. And then we were like, actually, I think one of us was like, actually, let's let them do their first event, see how it goes, and then we'll do it, because like we'd never done an event before, so we're gonna drive all the way to Virginia to not make any money.
Sorry, Fab.
No, shout out to Fab, because like that's one of the most stand-up dudes I know.
Doing your due diligence
in this business.
And we knew a homie, shout out to Keenan, he did the event, and I believe I asked him for us. I was like, yo, how did y'all do? And he was like, bro, if they ask you to do it, the next one, do it. I made so much money in forever. Like, I've never made so much money.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, right.
And then we did the second one, and I think we made like $2,000 in like 5 hours. And like, you know, as a small business, you know, selling things here, selling things there. We started with vintage and like Supreme tees. We weren't selling hundreds of dollar items or thousands, you know.
Right.
We made that much in a day, and we were like, what the fuck? And then some TikTok girl did a TikTok of that. And then the next event, the line,
flooded.
I still have a video.
Flooded.
The line was like a half a mile long of people waiting in line to get in this event.
Euphoria joint.
Yeah.
That's what I'm using.
I remember skating down, and it was at the worst part, or not the worst, but the crazy part about it was in a church parking lot in a rich neighborhood in like, I think it was Arlington.
And is this during a time literally where like outside just opened again?
Outside just opened again.
Literally, this are the first.
But social
like itching to
wear a mask.
But motherfuckers was itching to go outside and do something. Let me go do something.
And since the first one was so good, the second one's about to be nuts.
Eventually, it got to the point where too many people were coming out. I think the church told them like, you can't do that.
Oh,
they got kicked out of that spot, and then
they making too much money,
too successful. What you call being too successful?
Lord, not getting the people.
Oh, they eating over there. Not paying your tithes.
I feel it.
Nah, facts.
Shout out to the Lord.
Facts.
But like, the events changed everything. Like, I think we were like, okay, so this in-person experience, one, people get to meet us. Right. People meet us, they do business with us, and then we become a familiar face. And, we would sell things to people at events, and they would come to the next event, and they'd be like, hey, man, it's good to see you again. Like, what do you have new for me? So we developed relationships, friendships, other vendors. We got cool with other vendors who were like, some of them have become lifelong friends. Some of them have become people that I like really, really bang with. Right. And more events started popping up. There's Euphoria, there's Vintage Palooza, there's Street Market. Shout out to Street Market. But like, those and then they had like little brewery joints which were okay. But like, then we started realizing like, yo, if we can do in-person events, sell online, we could like double our money.
Right.
What we were making every month off like online sales is great, but like if we can make 2,000 every weekend, or even 1,000 every weekend, like shit, and then we can dump that back into inventory. So at that point, we're buying and doing events. So we start buying more like actual collections from people. So like, our homie that's buying a house or selling a car buying a car, or his wife's pregnant or something, and he's like, yo, like I'm family, bro, like come and buy my shoes.
Does that go? Because I see you guys will buy out these collections or whatnot. Does that just like come to you, or is there a way that you guys go out and like prospect that?
So we get a lot of people who hit us up because they know that we're buying. We used to actually have to put out posts like saying, hey, if you're selling anything, like we're buying it.
Right.
And now I feel like a lot of times we get hit up. We also have great friends that like will peep some shit for us and be like, yo, I got this opportunity up in like last week we went up to New Jersey, bought like 200 plus items from like this lady who was like an investor in a store. And she had like a warehouse full of shit in her basement. It was like 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s clothes. And we left with 200 plus pieces. And we paid good money for it. And like that was something that kind of just somebody was like, yo, alley-oop, like I got this potential opportunity.
Like to interject, talk about the importance of having a network specifically within this industry, because I feel like having good people around you really enables like you to be that much more successful, or shit could be that much more stagnant. You know what I'm saying?
It's definitely a balance.
Right.
You definitely don't want to overpay for this stuff, even though it's good stuff. But sometimes here and there, it's like, what's more important, overpaying for this one item that they want more money on, keeping this relationship good, and they come back next time, or lowballing them, and then they're like, I probably won't go back to them next time.
Well, it's treating people with respect, and it's like, because at the end of the day, like it is sensitive, because we also get people who are in debt, and they're like, hey, I'm selling like my most prized possessions, and will you buy it? And
it's kind of emotional.
It's emotional. I've had dudes like legitimately emotional, and I get it, but like. Yeah, it comes to a point where you got to, you said it best. Like, do I want to maintain this relationship, or do I want to get a quick come up off this person? And then not only do they never hit me up to buy again, but now they're looking at me like, yo, this guy's an opportunist. Like, he came here and he knew he did to take advantage of me. And sometimes we do have to like give people disclaimers like, hey man, I'm not trying to lowball you, but this is how much I would pay. This is how much I'm going to sell it for. This is how much I pay.
Right.
But back to like the network question, relationships is everything.
Respect too.
Respect, and like moving with respect and moving with like intent and being mindful. Like, because I think that it's easy to build relationships off of just like, yo, good to meet you, we're networking now.
Right.
It's another thing to like actually invest in the people you build relationships with. Like I try to truly like develop communication with all of the people that play a part, or like that I've worked with or whatever, because like they do become friends. And even if it's just an associative thing, like treating your associates with the respect of a friend, you know, right. And like keeping those relationships intact, like making sure you do good business, making sure you know.
Good business always gonna make me fond of you. Yeah, exactly. I ain't never gonna look at you bad when we do good business. Yeah. And it gonna only make you my friend in this adulthood, you know, because I think it's very funny, even when we get as adults, like, you know, when you're younger and stuff like that, there's a lot of opportunities, you know, you can make these relationships, stuff like that. But when you get older, I feel like, you know,
the box starts closing.
You narrow down. You close in on like who you work with. Like I've said this to you before, where like oftentimes when you get to it, like if you don't do something that's professionally that somebody else does, you don't know other people that do that thing. So like as an example, like I make videos. A lot of people that I know don't make videos, and I'm the only person that they know that makes videos. You know what I'm saying? So like if they need a video, they will call me. You know what I'm saying? And if I can't do it, I'll call somebody that I know and give them an alley-oop. You know what I'm saying? But like they don't know when, like I'm the only videographer that they know because they're not in that world. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what I found is interesting as far as like networks and stuff like that. If you're you don't even got to be the best person at what you do, but like if you're good enough, or I mean, everybody wants to be good. Everybody wants to be good, but you know what I'm saying? But like if you're, like you said, if you are good, people are going to hit you up when they need whatever thing that you provide, because they probably don't know where else to go. They don't know where else to start. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but and the goal. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, not only that, like we've had multiple times where we did good business with one person, and good word of mouth.
That word of mouth referral.
Like one of my boys, he told two of his homies who were moving to, one was moving to Cali, the other one was moving to North Carolina. They had a bunch of stuff that they just couldn't take with them. He told them, yo, my boy that I went to high school with, he has this brand called Drifters. Hit him up. They buy a bunch of stuff like the stuff you have. And, you know, we bought stuff from them. So, you know, that happens often too.
Yeah, I get that a lot. Like people hit us up and go like, hey, my boy sold some stuff to you or bought some stuff to you. Like, you guys buy? Yeah, we buy. You know, and it's nice. It's nice to have like those doors open, and it really be random as fuck. Like be a Tuesday morning and someone's like, yo, I got this shit for sale, and I'm like, wait, whoa.
Oh yeah, what? You gotta make that move.
How much you want for that? Yeah. You know, and like, you know, obviously there's dry seasons too, but like, you know, it's cool. It's a blessing that like we've kind of played it by ear and learned through trial and error. I think neither of us really ever expected to get it to like for it to get to this point where like it's at now, like,
critical mass, right?
Yeah. And we're not even like popping
sometimes
yet.
To even go search, like, will you like?
I was in Philly yesterday night,
right?
Like,
that's not even necessarily because there was a play. Like y'all will literally go just be like, yo, I want to see what's up.
My boy hits me up fucking Sunday night. He's like, yo, you want to go to Philly? And I'm like, what you doing in Philly? He's like, yo, like this is like warehouse. You know, they've got, it's like a 10,000 square foot warehouse just full of fucking old shit.
Oh, wow.
And we got to pay a deposit to get in. I pay a deposit. We search for like 3-4 hours. I walk out with like, you know, an IKEA bag or two full of shit.
My gosh.
But then like what I think we learned the perfect combination of like leisure and like business. So like I went to Philly with my boys, and we, you know, we're all into streetwear, we're all into fashion, we're all into like vintage, we're all into jewelry. So like it's me, my boy Jonathan, my boy Andy, and then we met up with a few homies in Philly, and it's literally like, yo, I know this one story. Y'all ever been here? And one of, you know, we're like, oh nah. He's like, yo, let's hit it up. We hit it up, buy some shit. You know, we went to a few like consignment shops out there. I think I bought like 7 pairs of shoes. Yeah. Like just walking around, just you know, oh shit, this shot looks cool. Damn, those, like, I bought some like Fear of God ones. I was like, yo, how much? Oh, bet. Buying that. Yeah. You know, I bought some like fucking Yeezy boots just off the shelf. I'm like, oh shit, that's a great price. Bought them shits.
He's like sending me pictures of all this stuff, and I'm at work looking at like, all right, what can we sell this for? Is it a good price? Yeah. Oh yeah, this is a good price. Oh no, that's not a good price. Okay. Those, you know?
Yeah. I feel like that's hard to gauge, but I'm sure y'all got like y'all signs down as far as like what's good versus bad. But I'm curious to know, like, when it comes to something as subjective as fashion, right?
It's a tough one.
Yeah,
I know what you're about to ask. Like, how do you know like this? Like this might not even be my style. You know what I'm saying? But like I'm gonna buy this because I think I can get it off. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's that? How does your brain work when it comes to things like that?
I think Rich, the owner of Home Court, I think he said it.
I'm about to say you got to be rich or what? No, I'm just like,
no, boy. I think he said it best. I think it's a bit of like scoping out at these events, like what people are
keeping your eye out, like what people are wearing,
especially like the kids. You know
forecasting.
Yeah,
you gotta see what the kids are wearing. You know what I mean? But I think it's also that and a mix of when you're at this, when you've been doing this for so long, people kind of like trust you to provide.
Like if you have it, it must be. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like I should probably buy this if
like
it's
they,
a good.
Like
you know
they
what I'm saying? Like
trust us to provide them with good stuff and we're not selling them a bunch of BS.
Yeah,
curation.
Yeah,
like you have to get to a point where you're almost curating your selection for people to buy. You know because. To some people, you are the only person that they shop with, or you are the only like even like social media. Like if you're a fashionable guy, that like there are people that follow me or follow some of my boys. I know I got a couple homies that dress really really well, and people are like, "Yo, you play a part into why I dress the way I dress."
Yeah, a style inspiration.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I think like Gio and I are blessed to be, you know, well versed in like have been fucking nerds in this shit. Because I've been a fucking nerd. I used to like be on Flight Club and shit. I used to be on like Flight Club and shit.
Nike Talk.
Nike Talk. Damn.
Karma Loop, Dr. J.
Bro.
Karma Loop. Yo, funny enough.
I forgot about Nike Talk. You want to talk about like that? Yeah. That's like the shoe version of Go-Go Central. Nike Talk.
Y'all remember the Facebook group DMV All Things Fresh?
Yeah, I don't remember. I'm actually banned in that group right now.
Nigga who was a legend back in the day with the shoes, bro. Wale,
yeah, facts. Not facts.
We also got him, Currency.
Currency was my style inspiration when I was like 10 deep, LRG. LRG be my shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, facts.
You know who else was low key? Like
Crooks and Castles. Y'all remember Crooks and Castles and shit?
I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't a huge fan of Crooks and Castles, but like I see the appeal.
Yeah.
It just wasn't for me.
I love
the hundreds.
The hundreds was my shit too. The hundreds was my shit too. Yeah,
I was a big Diamond Supply.
Diamond Supply, yeah. That's another joint that Currency put me on to. Diamond Supply, yeah. It's funny, bro. Like thinking about all these. It's funny because like as we're naming them, like you'll still see like Stussy around. You'll still see the hundreds around.
It's some of these,
and it's funny because like I got my brother-in-law. Shout out my brother-in-law Tim. He still wears LRG. Like religiously, bro.
I just bought a bunch of LRG.
I be going to the house and I be seeing LRG packages, and it'll like remind me, like, damn, I need to go online and see what they got.
They're still around too.
That's what I'm saying. Like he reminded me of that. You know what I'm saying? So like I need to, but I was gonna say like some of these ones, like the Crooks and Castles and like things like that, you don't really see them no more. Like I feel like they're dead and gone.
Out a little bit. I mean, like even 10 Deep. Like I 10 Deep is so like down low now. Where when I see somebody wearing 10 Deep, I'm like, yo. Good shit.
Yeah, like you're an OG. You're an OG in this. You know what I'm saying? Like, 10 Deep used to be one of the hardest.
Always sells well for us. I don't know what.
Really?
Because it's a cult classic.
And that's what I was gonna. That's exactly what I was gonna say. I feel like that's one of those things that's a cult classic, and it's not. I don't know if they're still making new stuff, but you're not gonna see.
My 10 Deep.
Damn, that's. I mean, you know, as she made out like a bandit. That's crazy.
How do y'all feel about this state of, I guess, streetwear?
It's very tricky right now.
It's, you know, the merge of they trying to do the
high fashion streetwear,
and it's high fashion street fashion. Like, you know what I'm saying? How you fuck with the industry just at large?
It's just everywhere. It's so hard to gauge what's gonna be the next hot thing, but it's also like you gotta have an open mind. You can't shop for yourself. You have to be open to certain stuff. Like there's
like a DJ, right? You can't play your playlist, bro. You have to function.
I mean, shit, I can't
unless your playlist is extensive. Like I feel like if you
right,
because sometimes you want to be in a space where you're putting people on. at a degree. You know what I'm saying? You want to introduce people to shit that they don't know that they could fuck with. You know what I'm saying?
I always try and put people on. I always try and put people on in the aspect of like wearing certain shit where people are like, yo, what is that? And I'm like, yo, this. Yeah. Like, look up this. And if you like this, and I'm that way with music too. Like I listen to a lot of fucking Italian jazz and like Brazil, I listen to a lot of bossa nova. I listen to a lot of like Japanese funk, and people will like listen to me will hear me listening to shit, and they're like, yo, what the fuck is that? And I'm like, oh, you like that? Yeah. I'm like, this is this. Yeah. And then I'm like, if you like that
intro.
Yeah. And I'm like, if you like that, here's 12 other songs you're gonna like. Right. And then they come back and they're like, holy fuck, bro. Where do you find this shit? Yeah. Like, okay. Look up these artists. Like, you know, and I remember being called a hype beast in like 2009, 2008. And like I remember, like I forget what the context was, but dude was like, "Yo, you're a fucking hype beast. Like you ain't in this shit." Like, and he was right. I was like a kid. I was young. I was, you know, I was poor as fuck. I grew up poor as shit. So like, I didn't have the shoes. I think I had like one pair of Air Forces ever, like as a kid, you know. And then, funny enough, that guy like 12 years later, like hit me up. And he was like, "Yo, bro, I don't know if you remember this, but like, he's like." 12 years ago, like ninth grade, I called you a fucking hype. He said
I haven't forgot it. He said I never forgot it.
He hit me up. And the funniest part, no, he hit me. He remembered. Yeah. He hits me up, and I'm like, yeah, I remember that, man. Yeah, I'm like, I remember you.
I fucking remember.
And the crazy thing is, like, he's like, yo, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And he's like, yo, you're fucking killing it. Yeah. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And you're killing it. Fucking tough ass way of apologizing. I will die with that memory.
That takes takes something. You know what I'm saying? Takes something.
But like, style is so much different now.
But you know what's funny? Crazy. Just to touch on that real quick, like, I kind of don't fuck with terms like that because like hype beasts and stuff like that. Because in a sense though, I feel like everybody got to start somewhere. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? You're going to fault me because I haven't been in this shit for the last 10 years, but today is the day that I decided I wanted to be in it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or I wanted to, like, at least see what it's about. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I've never really fucked with that because it's like, how is anybody supposed to start? That's why I feel like people, taking it again to kind of like how people curate their lives for social media. That's why people don't like to show their beginning stages and shit, because people kind of feel like they're going to be claim to be a poser or something like that, but it's like, how am I supposed to start, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what I'm saying make sense to y'all?
No, it does. It makes perfect sense. And it's a double-sided coin. I get it. You know, when you're passionate about something, like I'm a very passionate person. Like everything that I get into, I'm fucking like, I'm obsessed. I love it. You know, if I learn new music, I'm down the rabbit hole. If I find some new shit that like style wise, I'm down the rabbit hole. If I'm looking at reference points, I'm like, damn, I need every single type of reference point that relates to this. Like I mean, you know it. I got one pair of fucking Nike Bagans, and now I got like what?
Man, 10? Bro, that shit's really epic.
Yeah,
that shit's the most epic shit. I showed my boy Drew. He was like, "Yo, what the fuck?"
Yeah, no, but
like,
that's
bro, right? Like,
it's passion. It's passion. So I get why people are purist about shit and like why the hypebeast term gets thrown around, because like if I'm like I love Pink Floyd. And I know Pink Floyd's a well-known band, but like the first time I ever listened to Dark Side of the Moon, I like fucking cried. I was in a very weird, like horrible place in my life. And when other people, like sometimes when I see other people, like I see somebody rocking a Pink Floyd tee, I do have a brief moment. Like, I do have a brief moment.
You even listen to Pink Floyd?
Yeah, like I'm like, do you even listen to Harley Davidson?
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, I mean, I feel you being vulnerable right now, right? But that's the thing that I'm like, does it matter?
No,
I'd be at Hot Topic buying t-shirts. Because like, you know, that used to be a thing. Like in high school, like people would wear the band tees. People would ask me, do you even listen to Avenged Sevenfold? I don't give a fuck, bro. It matches my shoes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, miss me with all of that, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, miss me with that. No, but I see where you're coming from.
But that's why I say it's a two-sided thing, because I agree with you. Like, expression is expression. They're both right.
And your feeling about that is it's developed. Like you have an emotional connection for whatever you like, however you got to that point, you like worked to get to that point, right? Yeah. So like you would like to see other people work to get to that point.
100%.
Is that kind of what you're saying?
And I think like the older I got, the less I was like, boy,
attached to it.
I remember we were at round 2 one time, and like this kid walked in with a fucking, it was like half Louis Vuitton Supreme, half Bape Shark jacket. And like it's a little white dude, probably no older than 12.
Yeah.
Walks in the store and a bunch of people look at him and they're kind of like,
what do you want, bro?
Yeah. And Austin from round 2, he was one of like the guys managing the store at the time. He I remember he like told somebody, he's like, nah, man. He was like, hey kid, like I like your hoodie. And he was like, I got some cool shit that you would like here. Like, you know, and to me, I was like, damn, you're the manager of the coolest store in that area at the time. Right. You could easily be the guy that's like, yo, look at this fucking peon. You know, look at this fucking hype. He's don't know what we're wearing. And he's like, nah. He's like, nah, like cool sweater, man. Like, you know, and this was what, 2017 that happened. And that like the way that ingrained in me and like showed me like, yo, it's not about ridiculing people. It's not about shitting on people, you know. And you know what? Yo, you rocking a Pink Floyd tee? Y'all listen to Pink Floyd? Nah, listen to this song.
Yeah, like you should try him out. Like you should listen to him. You might.
And I changed the way. I changed the way that I saw it, and I still maybe see it that way a little bit. But I'm not like, yo, you don't know no Harley Davidson songs. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like, and it's either you could be the guy that ridicules somebody and that person remembers you for the next fucking 10 years, like I did.
Like or on some revenge shit.
I remember you. Yeah. Or you can be the guy that's like, yo, I'm gonna show you some tight shit, and you either not gonna fuck with it or you're gonna be like, yo, thank you. But either way, I'm treating you like an equal, and I'm hitting it different because it's not like I'm like, yo, fuck you.
Yeah, I feel like it's like kind of like I said earlier. It's like I having respect for, not what I said, but just to pick up back off what you said. Like I feel like that's kind of like having respect for the fact that you want to be in this world. You know what I'm saying? Like it's another thing to be like what they say with like appropriating and stuff like that. It's a different thing to be like, oh, like to come into something fresh and be like, oh, like I own this space or I made this space or like this space is nothing without me in it. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Yeah. Exactly, bro. You know what I'm saying? But it's another thing to just kind of like be wandering in the space and being like, oh, I like this. Let me try this on. Like, I like this. Let me do this. You know what I'm saying? Because like, again, bro, like, you know, like, golf and tennis are two sports that I've recently picked up.
Tennis
and it's
is
like
the shit. We play tennis every week.
It's my shit, bro. It's my shit.
We gotta play tennis now.
We got to. I play up here at this park like almost every weekend, bro. And multiple times a week too. So like we definitely gotta link up and play. But again, like these are things that I've just picked up, right? In the last like couple years, but I still feel like a beginner when I'm around people who have been doing it. But I would hate for like them to ridicule me. Not that they could, I'm a grown man. You know what I'm saying? But still, like it would be like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be in a space where it's like, oh, I only got to go to the golf course when no one's there. I only got to go to the tennis court when no one's there. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like that's kind of shitty. And even for that community to treat people like that, I think that's kind of shitty. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not welcoming.
You putting your hours in and you kind of just respecting the craft that of something that you're coming into. You're like, yo, I understand that. Like, but as you do it, you're like, damn. And then when you see people who are nice, you respect the fuck out of them because like, damn, like I can't even do that yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, like how are they doing that?
But I will say, at the same time, oversaturation is a thing.
Okay.
And like, think about
where's the fine line?
Well, think about it like this: you're a videographer, right? Videography becomes a thing. Frank Ocean starts shooting videos, and now everybody else wants to fucking shoot videos. Just like when what was the camera that he bought, and like everybody else bought it. And now
that's probably the little camcorder thing or something.
No, it was a point and shoot. But like in the same aspect, like the mass population likes to hop onto a new trend, and I get why like people want to protect it with everything. And then, you know, I love the Nike Bacon. The Nike Bacon. When it does come back out, it's going to become a thing where people are like, oh, let's play this shit out because this shit's fucking cool. And someone like me who's like, yo, I've actively searched for every fucking pair because that shoe means something to me. Now I don't want to wear them because I don't want to fall into the same.
You don't want to look like the people who are just kind of just getting on
exactly.
The train.
But there's
because you can easily be mistaken. You can easily be mistaken.
Were killed for these.
Yo, actually, speaking of,
like to that point, like to that point, it's like I remember around 2013, 14. Like,
he had the good ones too.
Coming up with colors, like,
he had the good ones.
First they did like the eggplant foams. I was like, I like that.
Yeah.
And then the pewters.
The pewter ones. Those are the
that.
ones. Yeah,
I
those
said,
are the
yo,
ones.
I love that.
But then them period bloods.
They
had the period blood joints.
The copper, the galaxies.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I like this.
I'm
This
with
is
that.
Cool. New vibes.
Yeah.
Then they like
The period blood.
The royal the royal blues.
Yeah.
Gotta come back out. The gum bottoms. I was like,
Like, okay, hold on.
Wait,
hold
what?
on a second.
We re-released
Bro.
some joints. Like, no, hold up. Then
That's
the
kinda
red
what-
joints I wasn't fucking with, and then
They changed it.
Bro,
They just-
They
That's
put the
kind of
black
what-
bottom on.
bro,
the,
that's kind of what's happening with some of these like
the
retro
Comey
Jordans,
Garçon
bro. Like
collab joints is fucking
They're-
nuts.
He just got them. I want them joints.
They're nuts.
I'm cheap though.
that's kind of what's
that's
that's
the
kind of what's
whole
happened with
That's-
these like
yeah.
with these.
But also flight positives. But before
flight
we get on
positives,
about that, I do want to shout out because Brooke, we went to the same high school.
Yeah.
And Brooke was a dude like that I would see, and I'm like, yo, he got, and we were in school in what 2010, 2011.
Yeah.
And I would see Brooke, and I'd be like, yo, those are 2006 Royal. Like, bro,
Yeah.
that shoe already retroed.
Yeah.
I got the new pair. I did have a pair of 2006s, but I would see Brooke in them. I think you had the Blue Pros too.
Yeah.
And like
Yep.
that was 2001
Big checks.
or 2003, 1 or 3.
Yeah.
And I would see them, and I'm like, yo, he got that shit on.
Yeah,
But so to the whole gatekeeping, whatever, like when you can appreciate a connoisseur, you can appreciate a connoisseur.
absolutely.
So like
Absolutely.
just
And you
like
should
everybody wears
appreciate one
fucking
when you
panda
see one.
dunks.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Just like everyone wears panda dunks, and I'm gonna sell them to you. But I'm also have the dunks that I got some pistachios. When I wear the pistachios, I hardly ever wear them anymore. But like if I wear them, I get stopped, and I'm like, yo.
The fact that you stopped me, I respect you for knowing.
One
you know
of
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
one of my closest friends I met at an art gallery. I walk out, and I walk out to hit a J, and I look down, and this dude has barfs on, the SB barfs, and I'm like, yo, you got the fucking barfs on, and he's like, yeah, I only rock with old dunks, and then me and him sat out there and like talked for like an hour and a half, legit outside of this event, staring up at the clouds, high as shit, just like. Yo, like, don't these events feel so like superficial and just like and like having these like deep ass conversations, and then we became friends, and now I hang out with him all the fucking time. Shout out Andy, like that's one of my best friends, and simply off of understanding that I met another connoisseur of like things that I appreciate.
Right.
So it doesn't have to be this like, yo, you a peon because you don't wear.
It don't gotta be the two extremes, like one or the other.
Because I can appreciate the person that drives around in an old Ferrari. I can see someone in a 458 and be like, yo, that's a nice car, but you probably don't know that much about cars. And then I can see somebody in a fucking 328 GTB, and I'm like, that guy knows what the fuck he's driving, and that guy is a connoisseur.
Exactly.
You know,
can
so
tell.
yeah.
Shit. Now to just let's get right into the moment of it. Talk about what you guys got going this Saturday.
Street Market Gallery.
Yeah, Street Market.
So we'd been doing events for a while, and we had met up with Home Court. We've been cool with Home Court and Rich for a while, but like we met up and we talked about like I think
Can you tell people what Home Court is? Don't know.
Home Court is one of the premier buy-sell trades, personally, in my opinion, on the East Coast.
Yeah.
But in the most notably in the DMV, they have a location in Silver Spring and Georgetown. And they are another example of like curation. Like they curate good shit. They do good business. And like they are a very resilient business. And like obviously knowing the people that run it, work it ourselves, they're good people. But yeah, like he hit us up. It's like, yo, like we want to do an event.
I remember I would go into the shop here and there,
right?
And he was
I got the story wrong.
How possible would it be for us to do like a flea market here, like a flea market type style event?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what do you mean you want us to do it with you? And he was like, yeah. And then but that was about it. We didn't really talk too much about it.
Right.
And then I remember I would just keep coming into Home Court because I would pass Home Court to go home after work.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, and one day he was just like, Gio, are we gonna do this event or what?
Right.
And then I was like, oh, my bad, bro. Are you serious? All right.
Yeah, facts.
What day works for you?
Right.
Bro, I could do this day. All right, I called Rob after I left. Called Rob. Yo, can you meet this day? Yeah. All right, Rich wants to sit down and get this event going because he really wants to do it. then that's how it happened.
Yeah, and
that's dope.
It's grown a lot. We've learned a lot. We've failed some. You know, we've got a team that is continually like evolving with one another. Actually, funny enough, was it our first event where it hailed, snowed, and rained at
Dumb week.
They
got all the elements.
Day. Yo, we got to get into that one because that shit was crazy. I
Mother
believe
Nature
it was
tried
March.
to hold y'all back.
Yeah, I believe it was March, first event, and we throw this event and we have our vendors. I think like we maybe had like 20 something. I don't have. We started with 40.
No, I think we had maybe 20 something. 20 or 30, 30 max.
Right. And everyone's setting up. Clouds are looking gloomy. We're like, yo, fuck it, we're here. It rains. And it was like raining sideways at a point. Like,
damn.
Yeah. So it's like wind catching.
Wind and rain. And then it started hailing. And then like it was like a what is it? Like not a blizzard, but like a
flurry,
a flurry. All three in the same day. And then like people still did well. Mm-hmm. And like after that event, we were scared. I was like, yo, fuck, like people are not gonna fuck with us. Yo, they were like, yo, when's the next one? Mm-hmm. And people were making money. They were doing well. And then like the first year was really just like us throwing events. And then did we bring DJs last year?
Yeah, like last year because we were playing our own music.
And how many business do you guys like are able to platform when you go to these types of events? How
now
many
we have at least 47 different businesses that we.
And y'all be making.
Oh
calls,
no, it's way above that. We can fit close to 40 in the space.
Okay.
We've probably done events with over 100 plus businesses.
Tough.
Okay.
We've had people. Every event I've had people who've been for the first time, they come up and they're like, yo, I've never made that much money. Thank you so much for having us. Like, we appreciate it. You know, we did some analytics for a few events and we kind of devised like an understanding that, so like in terms of money that cycled through these events is like an average of like 60,000-70,000 per event that like cycles through, not necessarily that one person is making, but money that's being cycled through these only small businesses, you know, because we try to only bring in small businesses. And, you know, I think with that, we've boosted a lot of like the local economy. We've given people platforms. We've helped people, you know.
Monthly submissions, right? Or is that how it is, like for people to be like,
I thought you meant like how many people can we fit in the space.
I did. But then on top of that as well, too, you like, I think you always be dropping like, I feel like, like every month or so or before you drop a joint, you're like, yo, if you're interested.
We do a vendor call. We try and keep it fair.
Right.
It's kind of it's kind of hard because like each vendor call we get like 100 plus people that like hit us up, and we have to choose 40,
right?
Or I think the technical number is like 37, right? But like we have to choose 37 out of 120 people,
right?
And you know, sometimes people are not happy. Sometimes guys are like, yo, I haven't been there in a few months, and I'm like, and sometimes we have to tell people like, hey, your brand is cool, but like, you know, you only have one item, like.
Right.
You know, we don't ever mean it in a demeaning way, but it's like, yo, like keep working, keep doing. You know, we're a place that wants to support you, but like we also have to make sure that we're fair to like the vendors who are working hard to actually like, you know, do this event. And obviously, curation matters. Like if I have one side of the event where like all the vendors are bangers, banger, like amazing product, and then the back half is like just people with one rack and like a random T-shirt, and like, you know. There's no curation. They're not having fun with their space. You know, eventually people develop the habit of like, oh, I'm not going to walk to the other side. So now this whole other half of vendors is never making money because they're placed on a certain side of the event. So what we try and do is diversify, make sure that every vendor is like a strong business in its own right. And then we kind of just lay them out throughout the event so that everyone has a reason to go to the back, the front, up into the store. You know, we try and bring out like local food vendors as well. We've had some amazing people, except for the one guy who had to take a shit. That guy was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That was the first time we ever had to tell a food truck like, hey, listen, I'm sorry, but like we don't want you back. It was bad. He like called a girl a bitch. Like,
I'm weak.
Yeah, like it was a whole thing.
And stuff he said that he had on the menu, he didn't even have it on the
I'm weak.
That's kind of crazy.
They were just trying to get in the building or what?
Bro, that Jones, he made a fried rice and the rice tasted like it was microwaved.
Damn. Niggas gotta start doing taste tests beforehand.
But we've had some amazing food vendors come out though. Like
it's just that one hiccup.
No,
that's gonna happen when you know what I'm saying. You always gonna run into like one sour apple out the bunch, bro. Like
always.
You can't even avoid it.
I mean, that's just business, bro.
Yeah,
like,
no, that's what I'm saying.
If I
in any
quit
industry,
if I quit out every time like something bad happened in business, I'd have been done.
Yeah, facts.
You know,
I have a I got a question. I feel like going back to the whole conversation we was having about like some of these other like these older brands like 10 Deeps and stuff like that. Is there any brands? This is a question for everybody in here. Is there any brands that are like not around anymore that you wish were, or that like are your favorite? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like favorite brand that's not around anymore. I know what mine is.
Rugby.
That was mine.
No way.
That was mine.
Ralph Lauren Rugby.
Rugby was my bro. Like when we're talking about like all these old brands, I'm like, damn, we're not talking about vintage, we're talking about streetwear, but Rugby is one of those ones that like
Rugby,
that was my shit, but it's not and I still have a lot of like it's so funny because I still have a lot of that's what I'm saying. Like I still got a lot of Rugby, and I was like cleaning out my shit, and I'm like, I gotta find like a consignment shop to like sell this shit to because I don't really wear it no more. But
you got Rugby, I'll buy it. We can look at that shit today.
I will show you right after this. I got Rugby, that I'm trying to get rid of only because like it's just not my style no more. You know what I'm saying?
You know what sucks? I remember when Rugby was.
They made an announcement. Yeah,
I remember when they were going out of business, and my boy he sent me the link to the online shop.
Yeah,
they're like, bro, buy something. They're like discounting so much stuff. But like, at the time, I was so broke, bro. I couldn't afford.
Nah, facts, Rob.
Shout out to being broke.
I'm so weak that you said Rugby, bro. Because I was like, everybody's gonna say something. I was like, I'm gonna come up with that last. But that's how you know great minds nigga like. But that was my shit for sure. And it's funny because like, Smoke Dizzy used to be heavy on the Rugby, bro. Heavy on the Rugby. But but how do y'all feel about? Are y'all familiar with like Denim and Supply? Which is Rugby.
Actually, funny enough,
I feel like that gives me Rugby vibes.
I posted a story 48 hours ago. It was like, yo, Denim and Supply. I could probably pull it up. Denim and Supply is because I posted these Denim and Supply pants where this just got patches all down the outer side.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, Denim and Supply is my personal favorite facet of Ralph Lauren.
Okay.
And I was like, what's y'all's? And like, you know, people were like, yeah, Denim and Supply at Rugby. Someone said Purple Label.
Purple Label. I feel like that's a different crowd. I feel like
I got some Black Label. It's cool too. It's just like overtly.
Overtly, yeah.
You know, but Rugby and Denim and Supply are like, Denim and Supply is like that Americana, like that patch.
It kind of continued on from what Rugby was doing. It kind of, because like when Rugby went away, I was like, fuck, like, and I just gotta go back to regular polo because I am a big like I fuck with Ralph Lauren.
I had a big pony polo for every pair of shoes I had. I had the U.S. Open jacket, and I had the Levi's 501s.
Yeah,
I remember. Like my old best friend, he would wear like the eggplants with like the purple and black big pony polo.
Yeah,
with like the Raptors hat,
like reversible like polo Mercer club.
You had the Mercers.
Yeah,
he had the fucking Mercer. Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
he had the Mercers with the ponies growing across the chest,
the boots, the polo boots.
I actually just bought a pair. I just bought a pair of polo boots. The one with the strap right here.
I got them.
Yeah,
dust. I'm gonna have to see.
Yeah, that's crazy. Nah, but yeah, Denim and Supply. I felt like was that it kind of continued from it as far as that like Americana. Sometimes you can get preppy.
Have you seen like you know how like they got the label on the back? Like even the label is high detail. Yeah, it's like patchworked and like hand sewn back together. Like, yo, that's design.
Yeah,
that like Denim and Supply is the epitome of like good design.
Yeah, and
like thoughtful design. And it's crazy because like Ralph Lauren does polo and everyone knows about polo, and polo is just very simplified. There's a lot of there's also some really good polo.
Yeah,
like regular polo, you know. But Denim and Supply was like it felt Japanese.
Yeah.
You know, it felt like they took a play out of like the Japanese design ethos, where like the really small details here and there, but like really keen on those details.
Yeah,
you know, Denim.
And I feel like like another question I got is because Brooke said earlier about like today's style, right? And it made me think.
You know what we're selling right now?
Yeah, go ahead.
South Pole.
Yeah,
no
I'm not lying to you.
Yeah,
because that's
is it like old South Pole or is it like they made a comeback kind of thing?
Old South Pole.
Well, again, I was about to say like, what'd you say, Gio?
I just bought it.
It's the youth, bro.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They want that white UK stuff.
Okay, so what I
Janko,
literally,
South
so
Pole.
okay, that kind of answers my question.
Fubu.
I was literally about to say, I was
Juicy, bro.
That's
Juicy
crazy.
Couture.
Juicy Couture.
Yeah.
So all these choices, so they really do say fashion is fucking cyclic, bro. Like
fashion is a
because
cycle.
my question was gonna be, do you see there's more of a trend of like people caring more about like the style of stuff, like fit, cut, all this kind of stuff, or are people still like, I want the label for the label, like I want the brand for that brand?
I think it's
like,
both, and I think it's like, I think it's a little bit, like I think you got like the people that want that, but also I don't know, like I don't see the jorts and like the baggy t-shirt. I don't see how that is fitment, like it doesn't fit. But like labeled, like I
was just gonna say, we also had like skinny ass dude buy like a 3X button up.
Yeah.
So it's like,
shout out to him.
So people are still buying. Like, people are going back to the baggy clothes and everything.
The baggy clothes are heavy right now. Like,
people are wearing them.
Oh yeah, like the oversized t-shirts and stuff like that. Yeah, facts.
The baggy ass.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I definitely like. I love me some baggy. I like the swing pause, but like, I just like to chill. Like I wore skinny jeans for so long, and I just hate being uncomfortable. I feel like an old man. Like I love looking like the Big Lebowski. Like,
these are my baggiest pants, bro.
But also a good pair of skinny jeans. There are good skinny jeans out there. I have a few pairs still that I could wear, and they're actually comfortable, and like I could wear them all day.
Yeah,
but like, it is crazy how it's the duality of things too. Because,
absolutely.
Because you can wear skinny jeans,
functionality.
but also like you could wear skinny jeans and be cool as shit. You could wear baggy jeans and be cool as shit. Remember when it was baggy jeans? If you was wearing skinny jeans, you're
getting cooked.
You're getting
you know
cooked.
what I'm saying? Yeah.
And then when skinny jeans were hot, if you were wearing baggy jeans,
you're getting cooked. Yeah, and it's
now,
like certain people wear only like, you know what I'm saying, like you, Rob, might only wear baggy jeans. You know what I'm saying? Like
I wear both.
But I'm saying
I wear
like,
bell bottoms now.
Not you. Okay, not you, Rob.
No. I know.
Saying, like everybody had like their style, and that was their style for the whole year. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was no like Monday I'm wearing this, Tuesday I'm wearing this. It's like this is what I wear. You know what I'm saying? Like if we're going back to the band tees, it's like motherfucker wear band tees every day. Motherfucker wear North Face every day. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like what their style. Yeah, like your style was your personality.
I feel that though, because I think when I was growing up, like I had heavy brand like loyalty. Like, I was only wearing North Face. I wasn't wearing.
I did too, and I think I still do to a degree.
I wore Spider, but like shit like that.
Oh yeah, if I'm gonna buy a jacket, it's gonna be North Face. It's not gonna be. I mean, Ellie Henson or something.
I'm gonna buy. I definitely like Arc'teryx though. Shout out to Arc'teryx. Like the Steep Tech is the best jacket ever designed. Personally, like the best winter jacket. I think Arc'teryx is tight too. Yeah, I'm a little biased, but like but like North Face is. I grew like born bred and like bled North Face.
Yeah,
you know.
I don't know. Is that like a DMV thing, or is everybody wearing? Is everybody? Because
I think it's DMV in New York. I think New York definitely New York, Yeah, I had a homie that would come down from New York, and he would wear like Steep Tech. Yeah. But like, I love the Steep Tech. That's the best jacket ever made. I think I have like multiple. I know I have multiple. We are doing a North Face drop at the end of the year.
Oh, there it is! Shout out North, because I still wear. North
so that's something else.
I don't think I have a North Face anymore. That's crazy. I always had one.
Then I got you covered.
Yeah, it's crazy because I've always had one, but now I'm thinking it's funny because like my cold jacket now is a Denim and Supply jacket. It's a Denim and Supply jacket.
I gotta see that.
It's downstairs. I'm gonna show you. But it's so funny, bro. Because like it's so funny, bro. Like because we're talking about brand loyalty, and like I feel like. It's funny because I would never say that I am brand loyal, but just by my habits, I am. Yeah, it's completely subconscious.
It's like the guy who buys a Honda for his first car and then he never buys.
Just always buys Honda. Yeah, it's like always just buys Hondas because he knows it, he trusts it. You know what I'm
exactly.
Saying?
But it's a marketable thing too, because when people know and trust and believe in a certain brand, then people are like, yo, I need that brand.
Yeah,
and that's why that's another thing we should like try to pivot into is like. I don't want to use the word content, but I guess content. But like we've been trying to like direct more cinematic experiences as a way of like advertising what we have coming up. So like we started with like the Japanese drops. We started with like a streetwear drop, and like we've got some ACG, some North Face, and like Gio and I plan on doing like short film type shit with people wearing, like with subjects wearing this product throughout the video, but like it's cinematic and it's like, we're trying to delve into doing more, like almost like a clip from a movie, but then it's like all North Face.
Right.
Yeah,
that's dope. Like showing off the pieces, but like within a scene. Yeah.
Right. And curation.
Yeah.
And I think that's like a nice keyword throughout this conversation, but like curation. We're giving you a reason to buy this. And I feel like that's how stores succeed. I feel like, especially with like the age of content, people want to watch something. People want to be coerced into like buying something.
Yeah,
the consumer
that
wants
native people don't want to know that they're being sold to or advertised to.
No.
They
but
want
it's also
to,
fun, like to curate
facts.
this shit. And like, I mean, both of you guys do lots of like you guys are well versed in
it's that what do they call it? Organic marketing or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? So it's like people don't. I mean, that's basically what TikTok is.
I am my customer.
Yeah,
so I can relate to my customer
and they want to see you in it or using it, not like just saying, "Hey, go buy this." They want to see like
this is why
using it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They want to see it in action.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I think that's the thing. Is like, I think we do well because we are our own customer, and like that's kind of like what the name Drifter stands for. Like, we are the one-stop place for all. Like, you're a drifter, I'm a drifter. Like, we're gonna leave here and go about our lives and do our little side quests and like live our lives and then maybe run into each other again, and then it's that culminate, but we're all drifters. So we're a place where you can come and get something for your journey, and we have what you need. Maybe you don't know you need it.
Yeah.
But we have something you could need or could use or could have in your journey. It could become a special piece of clothing that you love because it's sentimental. So, yeah.
No, that's facts. That's facts. I think that's a good place to end it right there. Before we go, though, let people know, Rob and Gio, best places to keep up with y'all. I know you mentioned you have an event this Saturday, so go ahead and plug that one more time. But yeah, just go ahead and let people know best place to keep up with y'all and, you know what I'm saying, things that they can look out for.
Oh, man, best place to keep up with us is just Drifters MD. For all updates on Street Market,
streetmarket.gallery.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. And then g.eo _ something like that.
g.eo _ for my IG.
Because he's pretty cool too. Y'all should definitely check him out.
Gio, cool guy.
Yeah. Rob.McKnight, MCKNIGHT. Drifters MD, streetmarket.gallery. I do have a brand too, R Browning. So it's like R.BRWNG. And then Street Market Gallery or Night Market Gallery this Saturday, 4 to 10. We're gonna have a new DJ on set and another friend of mine. It's gonna be great. We have almost like an entire new lineup of like new vendors, so it's like completely new space. So if you're watching this, you should show up and have fun. We're gonna have food there too. So
for sure. That's gonna do it for today's show. Appreciate y'all again for coming through.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. Y'all welcome back anytime too. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you got something you want to promote, plug, whatever, come back through, bro.
Hell yeah.
If you're here, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We'll see y'all next week.
Early.
Do it now.
Early.